Thank you for joining me on the second day of the January transfer window 2024, and we're going to be rounding up all the latest Arsenal transfer rumors. So I do take a lot of information from general sort of transfer rumor website, including some of the Twitter stuff, including some of the random stuff you might see online. So here we go. So a while ago, there have been continuous rumors since the start of the season. Arsenal are looking at a potential centre back, a player, not necessarily a replacement, but I guess more so should Saliba or Gabriel get injured, there isn't adequate enough replacement there, especially with Timber being injured, as he was meant to be that player as well. So equally, we want, Arsenal are looking to get someone of equal quality and standard. Again, fitting the profile of young players up and coming, got good resale value, potential growth and ceiling. So the player that I've been linked with now is Usman Diamonde. So he plays in Portugal for Sporting Lisbon. Now, the curious thing with this team is we've also been linked with three of their players. So obviously, this is Usman Diamond. The stats isn't here, but he's a very tall player. He's roughly around 6'2" or 3", I believe, and he's also very young for a centre back, and he's already sort of established himself in the right team. Nonetheless, I'm sure he's helped him being next to Coates, who's a very experienced defender who also played for Liverpool and has a lot of European experience. So I'm sure that's definitely helped his sort of growth. But the player we have been linked with is probably someone I would probably prefer, just purely because he's a left-footed player, and they are very rare to come by, as you all know. As well as he's meant to be a ball-playing centre back, very young, 22 of age, relatively tall as well, around 6 foot, 6'1", I believe. And he's also very rated very highly. But for now, the transfer rumor seems to be Diamonde, but the issue is it's not necessarily Arsenal that have been linked right now. The issue has been Newcastle apparently have now weighed in, and they are potentially look to recruit him, and they already do have a lot of defenders. They had to spend Botman, Lascelles, and I know Daniel Burns plays as a left back, but he can also play as a centre back. But maybe they're also looking to recruit, and they haven't been doing recently well. They've had quite a few losses as well, so maybe that's an area they're looking to strengthen. So it's going to be interesting to see how Saudi government's billions, Newcastle go up against Arsenal's sort of prestige and honour and reputation, and if Mikel Arteta's project is, or Arsenal's project is more sort of attractive, enticing compared to Liverpool, Newcastle's one. So it'll be interesting to see if both clubs do go into a bit of a bidding war, who they prefer. Now, the second player they've also been linked with today, as you can imagine, is not surprising. However, I do doubt this, but I mean, I wouldn't like it personally myself, but it is. His name is Marcus Leonard, and he's from Santos. Now, within the game, for some reason, Brazil is not really included, which is quite annoying. So it's got to be frustrating that I can't sort of show him here. However, let's see if is he in here. I can't remember if he is. No, these are a lot of the other players. I thought there was a fake Brazilian league. Give me a second. Sorry, apologies for this. I've got Argentina. Oh, maybe Brazil's not included. No, no, Brazil is definitely not here, which is annoying. Either way, he is a very good player, definitely skillful, but I have watched his YouTube highlights, and he's not all that enticing, just purely because he reminds me a lot like Jesus. I'm not sure how good his finishing is. He looks very skillful. He's not big in stature at all, something we do have a lot of. If he's brought in as a winger replacement, so potentially to cover for Martinelli or Saka, I'm all for it. However, if he's meant to be leading the line with Jesus I will be concerned, and it's something I wouldn't really be positive about. I'll be honest. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Then there's the usual links that have come up as well. There's more talks about Arsenal's potential purchase of, or not potential purchase, just a general rumor. Arsenal still looking to buy Victor Osimhen, which I did talk about yesterday. Big thumbs up from me if we do go for him. And then the usual link to Brentford FC. Now the issue is obviously Tony's been removed from the game for now because of his ban. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see the other player that's come back on the radar, which I'm not too disappointed if we do get him, is Vlahovic. Now, apparently, Arsenal tried to get Vlahovic like 2 seasons ago, maybe now, and apparently his agent, the rumors were his agent requested some sort of 10 million bonus payment directly to him, agent fee or something, allegedly, I don't know. But those are the rumors on Twitter, I should say. Now, if that is the case, he's he's now changed his mind. He's happy to come join Arsenal, and obviously we can agree a fee with Juventus. I would definitely be out for that because I do rate him very highly. He's still a very good player. He's definitely brings that pace, power, height. Again, very young as well. He's definitely like 6'2", 3, maybe even, who knows, but definitely above the 6'1", 2 region. As well as you can see, he's still very young. So I would definitely got him. Definitely got pace, power, all of the above. As I mentioned, just like maybe not as skillful as Osimhen, but definitely along the lines of what I mentioned yesterday on Victor Gyökeres, the striker from Sporting. Very similar, but maybe a bit more agile, pacier, and the finishings there. And obviously, because he's been doing it at Juventus, and prior to that, I can't remember what team he played for. He was doing it well there in Italy for 3 seasons now, I'm guessing. I would definitely, wouldn't be to say no to his purchase either. The Ivan Toney deal is interesting because apparently Arsenal, because what happened is Brentford's one of the key players, as well as them not missing Tony due to the ban. One of the key players being, let's get it out, Mbeumo. He's one of the key players. He usually takes a lot of the penalties. He's usually one of the main guys for creating as well as scoring a lot of the goals on the wing. He's now been injured for a while, and recently they've had a lot of losses. So obviously they need to now find other solutions. So apparently there are some rumors Arsenal are looking at options of potentially paying 40 million cash up front for Reece Nelson as a added sort of added sort of collateral cash, whatever you want to call it, player to the deal. So they have said Tony's worth around 100 million, 80 million, whatever they say, but obviously Arsenal clearly don't value him in that highly. And I'm not sure if Brentford would go for this deal, but it does work out well for both parties. Reece Nelson gets to play more game time, which he kind of deserves. I think he's good enough to play for a Premier League team, as well as Ivan Toney. He's openly sort of admitted he would love to play for Arsenal. He's angling that move, and currently he's the age he is probably he's got maybe 1 or 2 transfers now left in him to make a big move to one of the Champions League team. So 40 million cash, or however that finance deal is structured, as well as Reece Nelson, who they value around apparently 20 to 30 million. If that is the case, I guess that's a 60 million overall deal, which I think if you laid out 60 million for Ivan Toney in general is a lot. However, 40 million cash plus Reece Nelson, who is an academy product. Technically, Arsenal paid very minimal. We paid his wages, I guess, and his general development costs, but that's minimal compared to, like, if you value him at 20 million or 30 million, let's say, and 40 million for Ivan Toney cash. That's 70 million, total cash transaction, I guess. They view it. That is definitely a good deal from all sides, as they do get a relatively good player that can play on the team, first team, or as a bench. And obviously Ivan Toney gets his dream move, and they get 40 million cash to then go find a striker themselves, an up and coming striker, because it's very unlikely they'll be able to purchase, one of the top leading strikers. And generally, clubs like Brentford, no offense to them, they generally do go find the players that are the next big thing. So that'd be interesting to see if that, goes through. And I should have mentioned regarding Vlahovic deal, Juventus also previously wanted to purchase a party in the summer. I know he's currently injured and that might put them off, but it'd be interesting to see if Arsenal also can make a deal with Vlahovic, with Thomas Partey as a make weight. So that'd be interesting to see. And last but not least, with Arsenal have been linked with a midfielder. Apologies, and it's none other than Amadou Onana, and it's not the Man United goalkeeper. I do like him a lot. Again, he's someone like 6'3" or 4" or something. It's ridiculous how big he is, and he's not just sort of gangly, dangly, just sort of weak. He's physically very strong. I think 2 seasons ago Arsenal lost it like 1-0 or something, and he was very crucial in that goal they scored. I think it was on a counter. He's definitely a player that can really press well. He can run. Physically, he's got all the attribute. He can run for days, eat the ground up. Physically very strong. Technically pretty sound. I'm sure, obviously, there can be a lot more improvement. He's nowhere near the party level. However, he definitely has what it takes to develop into, I would say, a party. Whether it's too late or not is, someone, the team, Arsenal team, need to decide. And Arteta and those kind of scouts, they will know, if a player can improve or not. Sometime a player in a certain team, if they've been there for too long and is playing a certain way or whatever, they can't change their way. But hopefully, if Arsenal, because I do like him, I just think physically he's very imposing. And right now, our midfield, apart from Declan Rice, we don't have anyone that's physically imposing. Thomas Partey, if he's fit, yeah, he can be, but he generally doesn't have that kind of aggression. He floats around a lot more, whereas Amadou Onana is like, when you see him, he's very physically imposing, just purely because he's 6'3". So I would love to, if Arsenal do go for him, considering we do have a lot of these players like El Neni potentially leaving, so that would definitely be a good replacement. Again, thank you very much. Apologies for uploading this late, probably on day 3 really. So I'll try to upload a bit earlier, but thank you again for joining in, listening, and let me know if I've missed any rumors out, and let me know what you think about the rumors that are currently going around. Thank you.